Good afternoon and welcome everybody to today's exciting webinar event. My name is G. William James, your course administrator, your course executor, and your tour guide through all things Google Universe. Today is a special day because we're going to take a deep dive, deeper than even before, into Google business profiles, ads, and SEO. Now, if you are familiar with your Google business page, if you have one, you haven't gotten it organized just the way you want it, it's not delivering exactly what you want it to, we're going to talk about the secrets of how to make that happen. If you're having troubleshooting issues, like many people aren't getting their pages verified, or some people have actually had their pages taken down for one reason or another, we're going to talk about some of those things as well. Now, over the course of the presentation, the chat is always open. So feel free to go in and type anything that you want to know in the chat area. And periodically, I will go in and I will read the chats and address them. And again, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to stay for as long as it takes. I've cleared my schedule for today. So if we need to spend another hour, even after the presentation, on Q&A, that's perfectly fine by me, because I want you to get your hands on this information. So with that being said, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. I'll tell you more about me, and I want to know a lot about you too. So let's start with how to keep in contact with me. You can always reach me through my website at www.gwilliamjames.com, or the preferred way actually is to meet me on my email at william@gwilliamjames.com, or of course, through any of my social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, and Instagram, the ones that you see down there. And right above each icon is the access to my social media. For those of you all who have yet to meet me, and I know that there's a lot of people in here who have come to my webinars before, and a few who have attended the SEO webinar, I can tell you that you're going to get all new content today. All right. But for those who have yet to meet me, I have been in this business since 1999, and I have been working with realtors since about 2001. I've presented to the National Association of Realtors on multiple occasions. I've represented my company at the time. I was an independent contractor for GE Supra, the maker of the iBox. So I traveled the country teaching agents how to use their smartphones and their iBox keys. And I actually worked for Palm Incorporated when they were around, teaching agents how to get the most out of mobile technology back in the day. Well, it's not about the devices anymore. It's about the software. It's about the cloud applications. And that's where Google comes in. And the Google universe, as I like to call it, is a suite of cloud applications that are designed for you to succeed in your business, whether you're on your laptop or your desktop computer in the office, you're on your tablet, or even your smartphone. And if you learn to master these tools, you will become better at communication. You'll become better at your brand building. You'll be able to build your customer relationships, and you will make more money. You will score, because not only will you get a more quality relationship in business, you will actually get referrals from that business too. So I've been in the business for quite a long time, and I pretty much speak your language and understand the direction you want to go, which is why I want you to learn this technology today. All right, so here's your first assignment. I need each and every one of you to send me an email to this address, william@gwilliamjames.com. And in the subject line, I want you to type it exactly as you see it. GBP space SEO space webinar space 2022. Now, what's going to happen is this: the magic of Gmail. I love teaching this part when I teach my Gmail course. The magic of Gmail is giving us the ability to automate a lot of our processes. So a lot of the things that we do don't have to require our immediate attention, because we can set it up to automatically respond when a consumer hits our website, or in this case, sends me an email. I can respond by replying with you with information. And what you're going to get is an email back from me. And in that email is going to be today's handout. Now, the handout is going to be a combination of the slides that you see in this presentation, but I'm not going to have time to go through all of these slides. This is a pretty lengthy presentation, so I'm not going to go through all of them in today's webinar, but I ask you to please take the time to go through them, read the ones that are there, and learn all that you can about SEO and about improving your rankings in Google search by using the tools that I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to put this back up on the screen later in case you didn't get it now, but I hope I gave you enough time to send that email to me and we can go ahead and move forward. All right. So what is this whole thing about? What makes Google so successful? Why is it that we treat Google like we do Kleenex? When we're ready to do a search, we don't say, let's go to Yahoo and do a search. They say, Google it, right? Why is that? Because Google is now the operative word when it comes to search results, which means if you're there, then the probability of you getting discovered is greatly enhanced because of that. All right. Google has over 3.5 billion searches a day worldwide and growing. Some of these statistics are dated all the way back to 2020. So some of them have actually grown since then. Now, Google's revenue last year, or 2021, was almost $182 billion. And that's a lot of money considering they offer all of those great tools to us for free. So why is it that they're making so much money? Well, of that $182 billion, almost 147 of it was built through advertising revenue. And those are the ads that you see in Google search. So we're going to talk about ads. We're going to talk about, is it worth your investment? And is it going to benefit you? We're going to talk about the pros and cons of ad search. But apparently it's working because Google has made 80% of their money through ad revenue, which comes across in the search engine. Now, what is it that's Google's goal? And this is what I really need you to focus upon. Whenever you type in a query, you are Google's customer. So if you typed in, I'm looking for purple socks with green polka dots, Google's job is to find you the search result based on exactly what you typed. And it wants to find, in this order, it wants to find the most up-to-date, the most relevant, and most laser targeted information it can find on the internet that will satisfy your query. You are their customer. This is what they want to deliver. Now, where does the information come from? It comes from you. So if you want to be the information that Google delivers to its customer, then your information has to be the most up-to-date, the most relevant, and the most laser targeted information available at that moment. Now, you can't be everything to everybody, right? So what we need to do is create a strategy. And in real estate, we use the right keywords and combinations of words that attract people to us in the real estate industry, in home sales, home buying, home investing, but also bringing it down to your local level. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the strategies and how you can become better at this so that you can ultimately be on that first page and get discovered and build your engagements with people who are searching for homes to sell or agents to represent them by doing a Google search. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let me skip over these next couple of slides because this is stuff that I really want you to read. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on the semantics of the process. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about search engines work. How do they work? Okay. When you type in, I'm looking for purple socks with green polka dots, what does the search engine do? It looks for uh, good, good content, high ranking content. It's looking for up-to-date content. It's looking for relevant content. It's looking for content that matches the query of purple socks, green polka dots. Okay. It has a very powerful search tool that we're going to talk about that does the work for it. Okay. Now, the search results that do come back are ranked by the quality of the content. The search tools that are out there by Google are second to none, and they are extremely intuitive and very powerful. So we have to know how to make it work for our benefit. Okay. And number three, the frequency, volume, and variety of your content matters as well. So that's what I meant by up to date. How frequent do you actually update your content? We'll talk about that. You don't have to spend each day, every day updating your content. We don't have to do that. I'm going to give you some tips on how to make that work for you as well. How much content you put up, it plays a role in it. And the variety of content plays a role. Now, to most search engine optimization experts, they're consultants, the people that a lot of people pay to do SEO work for them, they focus and concentrate on the content in their website. And that's what Google looks at as well. They look at the website primarily as a source for the content that they want to deliver back to the customer. Ultimately, they want to lead them to your website to where the information is. But the algorithm is looking for a volume of work from you, a variety of work from you. And whether it displays those as results or not really doesn't matter, because what we want it to do is pay attention so that it will be attracted to us and deliver. So I'm going to lay this out for you step by step. All right. So here's the number one factor that the search tool is looking for: content. Content is king. That means your website has information that people want to know. When people type in a query for a specific website or a specific item or a specific product, if they're looking for the the purple socks with the green polka dots, the search tool is looking for a site that's got purple socks with green polka dots written on it somewhere. And it's going to find it and it's going to bring it back to the content. Now, is it looking at just the website? No. It's also looking at social media to an extent. It's looking at any blogs that you have. It's looking at media that you have. And it's looking at a tool called backlinks. Backlinks are very important, and I'm going to explain what that is. The key is to deliver high quality content, because remember, I told you the algorithm is extremely intuitive, and it's looking for the highest quality that it can deliver to its customer, the person typing the search query. So what do we mean by high quality content? Now, keep in mind, as we go down this list very quickly, that we're not talking about specifically real estate websites in this case. We're not talking about your Google business profile. We're talking about what the Google search engine does to all websites with all search queries. Okay. So when it considers high quality content, it's looking for information that's unique to the website and has not been published online before. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and rewrite the book every single time. So that's not what not been published online before means. That means that you have put your creative spin on it and that you are providing something that the consumer wants to have, right, in your creative way. Okay. It's thorough. It explains a topic in detail. So if you're looking for purple socks with green polka dots, it's going to be thorough as to all the sizes. It's going to be thorough as it relates to shipping costs and how long is it available, all those kinds of things. The algorithm really is looking to see if you have what it takes. Okay, it's well formatted, meaning that it's easy to read, it's easy to discover, it's easy to navigate through the website to find it. All right, it's got to have those kind of things in there. This is why having a really good web developer, a webmaster who created your website, someone that's good to do a good job with your website. All right, so again, this is all websites combined, okay, all content combined. But that last one on the list, it's SEO friendly. I think in this case is probably the most important one for you to keep in mind on about how to keep your content high in your website. It's not as difficult as you might seem, but I really want to lay this out because when you do start to create your content, I want you to understand the process by which it flows so that you can have an idea as to how to be creative in making it, optimizing it, which is the ONSEO, optimizing it for your purpose because you really want to get to the top of the page. The number two factor above, right below content, are links. Now, what are links? If you think about a site that you go to, a blog page or a site, a newspaper or anything like that, you go to their site and you see those areas in the paragraph that are blue that are clickable, those are called links. And if you click on that link, it goes to a relevant website, something related to what you're reading. Those are called backlinks. And let me tell you, the Google algorithm consider those absolutely platinum. They rank so high and they favor you so well because these are references to your website from someplace else. And so if they're co-signing you, then Google's going to really like that because this is not just you talking about you. This is someone else who found your content to be valuable enough for them to include it in their content. So links are extremely profitable for you. And we're going to talk about how you can get some so that it's going to build your content score and get your rankings up high. Okay. So the best way to get links from other websites is by creating superb content. If you have a blog, if you have social media content, all right, and this is what I've been encouraging agents to do for years. Become the resident expert. Get online, write a blog, or do a video, Facebook live, or something to that effect, or Instagram reel, something that you can spend 4 or 5 minutes and you can talk about things that consumers need to know about the real estate industry. Tips and tricks on how to improve staging your home to make it more attractive to a buyer. All right. If you're buying a home, a list of things that you cannot overlook when you're looking at that home. How about, when it comes to mortgages and applying for mortgages, or telling people what's PMI, what is that all about? What people should be looking for when they're looking to buy a home? How to safely protect their home, how to hire a contractor. All these kinds of things are topics that realtors are experts at, especially if you're a good realtor. And if you're talking about these things in a blog or on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok or what have you, then all of that can be picked up by somebody else who will share it. And when they put your website on there, that's the back. So you really want to start thinking about being a resident expert or being able to create content that other people will find useful and want to share it with their people. Okay, it's called natural link building. And I want to emphasize that because SEO consultants have gotten their clients into deep trouble trying to circumvent this process. They want them to get the backlinks, but they create the way for them to get the backlinks that was not above board. And again, Google's algorithm is so intuitive that it discovered them and they found themselves in trouble. So we're going to talk about how to get away from that. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. So here's a blog that someone was writing about tending to trees for the winter. And right there in the center, you see where it says Davey Tree Expert Company, it's in blue. This would be considered a link. And if you clicked on it, it would go to the Davey Tree Expert Company's website. And then they may be talking about tips and tricks on tending to the trees for winter. You see, that is absolute platinum for the Davey Tree Expert Company because someone else wrote about them and actually quoted them and then linked them in their site. This is what you want to get. Okay. So to further talk about links, what is a good link? First of all, it's a link added by a webmaster without monetary compensation. So as I talked about it, you want to make sure that when you're getting these, you're getting natural links. You are getting links because you got good content, not because you paid someone or you paid an SEO consultant to create links for you. That can be discovered very quickly and very easily by the algorithm. So you want to make sure that you get something that's going to be above board. Number two, a link coming from a related website. So if you could get Realtor.com, the National Association of Realtors, your state association, even your own company's website, they recognize you as Realtor of the Month. Or if you post a little brief article in the Realtor.com website, all right, that leads back to your website, a link that leads back, the related websites. Okay, so you can't have, as a realtor, the local auto mechanic shop who puts up a blog talk about you, unless you're there, you're talking about commercial real estate and how they helped you with that. Then it can be related because they're still talking about real estate. So it's got to be a related website. All right. A link coming from a website that is trusted by Google is platinum. Now, what do I mean by a trusted website? Okay, sites that get a lot of traffic, sites that rank high in Google search results. Like I said, Realtor.com is always at the top of the list. NAR would be at the top of the list. Zillow would be at the top of the list because they are trusted, well-respected websites. And if you are mentioned or linked in any of those, then you get the opportunity to get a high quality natural link. And a link that adds additional value to the users of that website. Again, like the tree service. All right. If the link says it's going to take you to some place where you can get more information about tending to trees in the winter, then it's going to work better for you. You see? So that's what that's all about. So any links that don't fall in any of these categories can really be trouble for you. And this is what I meant by sometimes SEO consultants, you may have hired one in the past or may have been approached by one who says, I can get you to the top of page one. Just let me go ahead and do this. And one of the things that they would do is they would create these backlinks. And instead of getting natural links, as we discussed, they would maybe put a page of links on a separate website, just link after link after link. They would have different topics on them, but they would all be links that led back to your website. But see, what the algorithm would see when they saw that page is they would just see a list of links. They would not see any related keywords or related key terms that would associate with those links, and they would immediately discount them and say, this is the bad link and we don't want to have anything to do with it. And that's how you can get into trouble. So natural links are the best way to do this. If you can't get them that way, then find another way to get them above board. Okay. So here's some ways that you can go about getting some decent backlinks. All right. Get a link from a trusted authoritative site that leads to your site. So again, if the local newspaper is writing a short article about you because you're highly community active and they talk about the things that you do with the Red Cross or with homeless or what have you, and then they mention your name and put your website link there, that is a very powerful link and a very valuable one to have. Number two, make sure that their text contains keywords that links to your information. Make sure that they say that you are a local residential or commercial realtor in this area, and they can and you can be reached at, and then there's your link. You see, make sure that the site, the anchor site, that's what it's called, the site where the information is coming from, is related topically to your site. I used the analogy of the auto garage earlier, putting your link in there. That's not going to be a very valuable one because it's not topically linked to residential real estate. All right. Now, if it's a news media outlet, that's fine because they cover the gamut. But make sure that the anchor site is related topically to your site, and then make sure that the link is what's called a do follow link on the active site. And all that means is if somebody puts their mouse on it or puts their finger on it and taps it, it will launch your site. That's all. It's an active link. That's all that means. It's a do follow link. All right. Now let me stop here for a second and find out if anybody's typed any questions. Don't have any questions quite yet, but we're going to go ahead and keep moving. All right. Now, here's how realtors can get backlinks. I think I've mentioned a couple already. But to get your content recognized by a real estate blog or magazine, if you are that resident expert, if you got information that consumers would like to know, be that source. Be that person that can provide that. And trust me, your state association is always looking for articles, content to put on their website because they've got to produce this thing, you know, monthly or quarterly or however often their frequency is. They're looking for content, and why not you being the person who can provide it? Okay. Get links to your site on your own company's website. All right. Do the same thing for your company. Put out information that consumers can see from the website that will be useful to their process. Get into the idea of blogging. You know, even if you just blog once a month or every other week, or you do a 2 or 3 paragraphs and put it out there. Okay. Even if you do social media posts, make sure that your website link is in the bio in Instagram, or at the bottom of your link or your content in Facebook. Make sure that your link is there and that it's clickable. Okay, that's how you're doing this. And then if you want to create sponsored content, for example, you want to go into your business, your Facebook business profile, and you want to boost a post, that's sponsored content. You're going to pay for that space, but it's still going to allow you to put your link in there, and it's a backlink and it counts. See, your content in social media only counts to a point when it comes to the technology. And we're going to talk about the technology next. But the link there is going to be the valuable part. So even though it's in your social media, the link is going to be a backlink, and it's going to lean positively in your favor. Okay. And then make sure all of your online content contains links to your site. Now, what do I mean by all your online content? Did you know that of the Google Suite, the Google Cloud applications, Gmail, Calendar, Google Drive, Google Photos, YouTube, Google Business Pages, all of these tools that are there for you to use for free, all have a way of you being able to create content that you can publicly share. And if you publicly share it and it has links back to your site, it counts because it's online content. So make sure that all of that content leads to your site. That's why I really, if you haven't been to the Google Universe web series, I'm going to promise you an opportunity to come there. You don't want to miss it, because it's going to teach you how to create content in those applications for better communication, for building your brand, for advertising, for building relationships with your customers or your prospects, and putting content online for the algorithm to find, to build up your profile and build up your ranking and get you closer to page 1 on the search result list. All right. So the number 3 factor, now we're getting into the technology a little bit, but it's not going to be overwhelming. The search tools. Now, the reason why I want to focus on the search tools is because if you have an idea in your mind as to what the process looks like, then when you're creating your content, you can better create it with this in mind, knowing that this is how it's going to work. Okay, so here's an example. Here's the first tool of the search tools, the Google bot. Now, every search engine that you've ever used, Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or Microsoft Edge, all of them have had us has what they call a web crawler, a spider, as they've called it. But Google calls theirs the Google bot. And let me tell you what this thing does. It scours the internet. It searches through millions and millions and millions of web pages every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It searches through websites. It searches through blog pages. It searches through video. It searches through audio files. It searches through everything that is on the internet. And what it does is it records words called keywords and associated keywords. All right. It looks at images. It looks at audio files. It looks at video. It looks at all those different aspects of online content, and it does what it calls index them. It puts them in an index. It compiles this information. So if you were to go into Google search and type purple socks with green polka dots, the index is going to have it in there, and the other Google algorithm tool is going to reach in there and find specifically what you typed, because they're looking in the index. Okay. So when you're creating your content, you want to make sure that your keywords and the related associated words around your keywords are ones that when they become indexed, they will become attractive to the Google bot. And we're going to talk about how to make that happen. It's really simple, but it's necessary. Okay. So this is what it does. That's all the Google bot does. It makes no decisions except how to index what it finds. Now, the Google bot has a companion, and that companion is called the rank brain. Now, the rank brain is subjective. The rank brain is artificial intelligence, and it is genius. Okay. Artificial intelligence, meaning that it's constantly learning as it goes along. So when you do type in purple socks with green polka dots, the rank brain actually goes in, it finds those key terms in the index, but it's looking at not just the keywords to pull it out, because no telling what you might get if you just pull up purple socks and green polka dots. What it's going to do, it's going to use its intuitiveness, its intuition. This is artificial intelligence, right? It's going to rank the information by these 4 criteria. Number 1, where the site is, unique visits to a site. This is why when you do a search for realtors or real estate in a particular marketplace, always at the top of the page is going to be realtor.com, because people all over the world go into realtor.com, not just for local searches, but from all over the country, in some place, and sometimes internationally. So they're getting a lot of unique visitors to their website. Zillow is usually close behind because they get a lot of unique visitors to their website. So number 1 is that, unique visits to a site. Number 2, here we go, useful quality content of the site. It's well laid out. The keywords are there. The supporting keywords are there. It's well maintained. It's up to date. It's relevant. You see? Number 3, quality of the backlinks to the site. Are other people talking about you? All right. Are other people linking to you? A place like Amazon, somebody's talking about Amazon on a blog or a news magazine or an online content all day long. They'll mention the word Amazon and there'll be a link to Amazon.com there. Okay, that's a backlink for Amazon. That's why they're trending so high all the time, because all of this stuff is relative to their site. Okay, and then number 4, quality time spent on a site. Now you think about your own searches. Let's say that you were searching for purple socks with green polka dots, and you go to a site, you click on it, and yeah, they may sell socks in there, but it's not well laid out. It's hard to navigate through the page. It's hard to see. You can't find exactly what you want. The checkout cart is a little confusing. And oh boy, if you're on your mobile device and it's that much harder, you're going to leave. So you're not going to spend that much time on the site. Then you click on the next site, and now it's laid out well, it's organized. You found the socks that you were looking for very easily. You were able to put them in the cart. You were able to check out easily. It was a good experience, and you were in there even looking at other stuff. And you might have spent 10 minutes on that site. Well, the algorithm is going to see that. And they're going to say you were on the first site for 45 seconds and you've been on this one for 10 minutes. So we're going to push this site up because we know that it's more likely to have the information that our customer is looking for. Okay, so this is what the rank brain does. It goes into the index and it pulls out that information. So when someone is typing in your area, then you want them to find you based on that criteria. All right, hold on one second. There's a question in here. Joni, I'm going to answer that question about the Universe web series in just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to give you a good example. Let me switch over very quickly. And I'm going to take you to a website. So I typed in Google, real estate agents, San Antonio, Texas. Okay. And this is what the results came back. The first thing that came back were the ads. Okay. So we're going to talk about ads, and is that a benefit to you? And what's the pros and cons of using ads? Then below that are the business pages. So you see you've got the Google business pages. And then if you've got more, you've got the rest of the list here. Now, how you rank in this list, again, the ads are at the top. You can see that. And then you see the rest down below. How do you get ranked in this list? What's the difference between number 1 and number 10 on this list? Well, I already talked about it. The content, the frequency of the content, the quality of the content, backlinks, all of those little criteria make a huge difference in getting on this page. And we're also going to talk about how you can get in this box as well. Okay. Now, below that, now we start to see what we call the organic search results. You see, and you see right there at the top, the first one is Zillow. You see, right there. No, I'm sorry, Realtor.com is above that. Okay, Realtor.com, and then Zillow. Why? Unique visits to the site, high quality content to the site. You see, backlinks, all of those things matter. So I'm just giving you an idea of what you should expect when you are going into these particular content creation ceremonies that you have. Okay, now above the ranking of the Googlebot and the Rank Brain is BERT. Okay, now what is BERT? BERT is a natural language processing tool. Again, artificial intelligence, but it's basically taking your keywords and associating it with other words in your content, along with how people search in the search query. So when they're talking about purple socks with green polka dots, not only is it going to give you that, it's going to give you at the first top, it's going to give you the sites with the purple socks and the green polka dots. But as you go further down the page, you may start to see Here's socks with geometric designs, not specifically polka dots, but geometric designs. Why? Because Bert said, well, if you're looking for that, then maybe you're looking for this too. So it's being intuitive and looking at context, okay? And if you're looking for socks, maybe you're also looking for shoes, you see? So that's why on those Google pages, you'll also see people also searched for things like that. That's Bert, hard at work. So all of these tools come together as part of the algorithm system to search through the index and deliver to you the high quality content. And this is the process that's going to get you where you want to be on top of the page. All right. Now, what are Google business profiles? Now, many of you already have one, but is it placed properly? Does it have the content that it needs? And what is it all about? Have you been getting issues with your Google business profile? And how can you improve on it? That's what we're going to talk about. Now, Google business profiles is part of Google's strategy to do one thing primarily, to keep customers on the search results page as long as they possibly can. Why? Because there are a number of people who have paid to be there. Remember, they made $147 billion in ad revenue alone. Well, this is how, by keeping people on that page, getting those people to stop and see the ad-driven content and click on that, you see? But it's also going to give you the opportunity to engage with your potential customers by seeing information about you before they even get to your website. All right. I've been telling people for the last couple of years, the days of the website are pretty much over, because if you can get this information right there from the search result page, there's really not a whole lot of content that you can add to a website that a person's going to need to get to. Now, that doesn't mean that websites are going to go away tomorrow, but their potency is being diminished by tools like Google Business Profiles. All right. So by having this, it's going to, number one, help you get a higher ranking, possibly in Google searches, right? The result structure is more local and focused, all right? Which is why it integrates with Google Maps so well. We're going to talk about that, okay? And customers get access to your content while still on the search page. So the whole idea, as I said, to keep people on that page, all right? So it's going to give them a better experience than just a list of links with websites on it, okay? It's going to show you what's under that website. So if you've got photos, if you've got events, if you've got other content on your Google business page, it's showing your company name, your location, your phone number, your website address. It's showing your reviews. It's showing you, in some cases, even your social profiles. It's giving the consumer an opportunity to see you in action even before they come to click on any of your content. And they can compare you to other companies in the same locality. So it's going to be beneficial to you. And if you want to get to the top of that list where people can engage with you more, these are going to be some of the secrets that you're going to need to know. All right. So you just saw this on the original page. These are called no-click searches. These are the Google business profiles. Okay. The organic searches are the ones that are further down. You see the ones like Zillow and Realtor.com. Those are the organic search results. All right. If you're looking at travel, this is a different design for Google business profiles or the Google search result pages, where you can literally book a hotel without even going to another site. Now, these sites are paid for by some of the big hotel companies like Travelocity, TripAdvisor, hotels.com, places like that. But they're allowing you to book your hotel or find the right hotel in your area that you're going, find out the location, find out availability, find out what the pricing is, and you can book it right there without even leaving the Google search page. So again, this is what they want, all right? Because this company has paid for this space, and every time you click on something, the meter goes off, all right? And as I showed you, the ads go to the top. Now, is that a benefit to you? Absolutely, it's a benefit if your ads are going to be the top of the list, because if your search habits are anything like what most people are, when you do a search query and then the results come back, people tend to click on the one of the first five, hands down. And if you're one of the first five, maybe the first three might be paid ads. You see, they're going to be the same links. The difference being that Google was paid for that particular piece of screen real estate, if you will. Okay, so is it beneficial from that perspective? Absolutely. There are some cons to it, and we're going to talk about it, but this is one of the great benefits of having participation in the ads program. And then, of course, here's what a Google business page looks like on a mobile device. This is my own company's Google business profile. And you get to see pretty much everything you need to see on the desktop version, with the additional feature of being able to call you from right here. You called me right here, you're going to get me, because it's going to dial my phone number and it's going to connect with me. Okay. Now, here's something that you saw when you went to the first page. And let me go back there one time really quick so you can see. All right. Notice that the first people up on the list have these little green check marks. That means that they are Google screened. And you see, they're even above the ad paid businesses. Now, some of these are ads too, not all, but some. But all these companies are Google screened. Now, what does Google screen mean specifically? Well, it's simple. That simply means that they've gone through a short process by which Google screened them. They went through and they looked at their license, they looked at their credibility, they looked at their location, and they basically said, yes, this is a reputable company in this local market, and we will endorse them as someone that you should feel comfortable to do business with. It's only available for selected verticals in the marketplace. Everybody can't be Google screened, but real estate agents, being practitioners, absolutely can be. Okay. And I would recommend, highly recommend, that you go through this process and become Google screened, because not only will it give you that second level of endorsement, it's also going to put you above and beyond even the Google business pages, and in some cases above the ad driven pages. All right. Now, how do you get Google screened? Well, like I said, you're going to go through the eligibility check, and then once they've approved it, then you'll get the green check and you'll become part of that box that you saw up there at the top. Now, this is how you can get there. Now, you got my handout, and right down at the bottom, you see that blue? That is really an active link. And if you were to click on it, it's going to take you to a screen in Google where you can come in and you can put in your information, put in your zip code, put in your information, and check your eligibility. It's going to ask you, well, what vertical business are you in? I'm in residential real estate. Okay, you qualify. Let's go through the process. And you fill out this information, and before you know it, you will be eligible for Google screening. Now, they're also going to talk to you about becoming part of the ads program. Okay, and we're going to talk about ads in just a moment, but I just want you to be aware that that's going to be part of the conversation. Okay, now let me stop before we go there, and I'm going to get into the Q&A. And the first question was, how do I get the Google Universe web series? I'm going to talk about that, Joni, when we get closer to the bottom here, and you're going to get direct access to it. Okay, and then Lisa says, hi, I'm sorry I missed the beginning. Is there a way to please see the replay? Absolutely, Lisa. As I mentioned to everybody, I am recording this session, and I'm going to send out the replay to each and every one of you. And I recommend, and I ask you from the bottom of my heart, please share it with your colleagues, share it with your decision makers at your association, or your broker's office for the possibility of me even coming in and doing specific webinars and workshops for your company. I've been doing them for over 20 years, and I've built myself a pretty decent reputation at being delivering high quality content to real estate professionals around the country. Okay, now we're about to move into the third and last phase of the presentation. We've got about another 20 minutes before we get into the Q&A. But again, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. When I talk about website optimization, I'm also talking about your other content, your Google content, your social media content, your blog pages, your online content. But you definitely need to consider making sure that your website is of a certain caliber, a certain quality. A lot of people ask me in their emails. I get at least 3 emails a day from agents around the country asking me about getting their pages to move up the ladder. Why is it they're not moving, or why are they running into issues and challenges? We're going to get into the Google business page in a moment after we get to this. But one of the things that are going on is something that you can't see, but you need to know about. And that is optimizing your website. So if you learn these secrets, you'll definitely move up on the list. Okay. So lending back to what we talked about earlier about having high quality content. Excuse me. A website with great content and good on-page SEO and backlinks can get to the first page of Google search. When you do a search for real estate agents in your area, somebody's going to sit on top. And the difference between them sitting on top and you sitting on top is going to be some of these things that we're going to talk about. And if you are willing and able to do these kinds of things, then you'll be right up there with them. Okay? There's no real magic to this. It's a matter of strategy. Okay? Now, for some of these things, you may need the assistance of the person who developed your website for you, or your SEO consultant, if you have one of those. All right. If you did your own website, some of these things you'll be able to do yourself. But then, of course, you always have me. I am your SEO consultant, and I can help you navigate your way through some of these challenges. But you're going to need someone who has access to the inner workings of your website to optimize some of these features. Okay. All right. So when the Google bot is going through your website and looking at all your different pages and reading all the content on your pages, looking at your listings, looking at who you are, it's looking at your reviews, it's looking at all the information that's on your website. It's looking at two different things. It's looking at, number one, on-page SEO and off-page SEO. The on-page SEO is the content that when I come to your website, I can see. I can see your words, I can see your images, I can see your links, I can engage with you. That's the on-page SEO. The off-page SEO is the stuff that's working in the background. Okay, the name of the tabs on your site. When you click on it and you look into the URL line, you see it says, kw.com insights or whatever, that page. That's the name of that page, that tab, right? That's off-page SEO. And some of that information has keywords in it, page descriptions, hashtags. You know what those hashtags are, right? You put the tic-tac-toe and put a word right behind it in social media. That's a hashtag. Well, hashtags work on websites too, okay? And especially on the off-page SEO. So if your web developer knows what they're doing, they will know how to create these opportunities for you to get the right keywords, the right page description, the right hashtags, and all of that information to get indexed by the Google bot. Okay. All right. So websites are not the only content that's being ranked, as I mentioned to you before. So your social media content, which contains a backlink. So not just your social media content. So if you're just posting up a listing, or you're posting up any type of content that doesn't have a backlink, that doesn't have a reference to your website, it's not going to count. Okay. It's got to have that backlink in order to be indexed by the algorithm. Okay. Blog content that has those backlinks to your site, backlinks to other sites. Okay. Make your sites credible and make them valuable to other people to read by putting in great content that other people may want to share on their sites as well. The Google Cloud apps, all right? Any of those tools that I mentioned that allow you to create content that you can post online publicly. For example, in my Google Calendar Magic session, I teach people how to create an open house event. And they put it in their calendar, and they put in all the details. They put in a video if they need to, if they got a photo slideshow, if they've got a description of the property, if they've got a PDF, if they've got flyers, anything, any other content that they have can be added to the event on the calendar itself. But I can take that calendar event and make it publicly available on the internet. Now, does that mean that it's going to be seen by somebody who types in that address? Maybe, maybe not. But the point is, it's going to be seen by the Google bot. It's going to be indexed. And because it is related to you and your site, it's a backlink, and it is being counted and indexed as part of your content volume. And so it lends to your credibility and lends to your ranking going up little by little, simply by adding that kind of content. Did you know that in Google Drive, for example, you can create single page websites for every listing that you have, and you can put as many keywords and links and descriptive content in there as you want, just like any other website. And trust me, when you make it public, the Google bot will find it, index it, and it will score in your direction. So that's why I want you to make sure that you get your hand on the Google Universe web series, because there's a lot of that kind of content that will definitely help you in every phase of your business. All right. All right. Now, Google Ads. Is it worth the expense? Is it worth the cost of investing in Google Ads? Well, first of all, they call it Google Local Ads because they want to really focus the intensity around bringing your local audience to see you at the top of the list. So people who are searching, well, not only does it know what they're searching, it knows who they are too. So when someone is searching for real estate agents near me, or if they're searching for real estate agents in a particular town, all right, it knows where it's being searched from as well. And so it's going to pull up the Google local ads because it already knows that you're local. Okay. And so you're going to get to the top of that list, just like I showed you in Google Screen and on the Google search results page. So you want to be able to become searchable from that perspective. Now, so it knows, you want to know what your customers are looking for and using the right keywords to attract them. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that by showing you some really good local ads results. Okay. It can be costly, but then again, it may pay for itself with the conversions that you make. Now, how does that work? Well, first of all, if you sign up with the Google Local Ads program, they're going to guarantee that you're going to get prime first page list placement. Okay. Now that's their promise to you, but you've got work to do in that too. You've got to do your part in creating good content. It's got to be up to date. You can't have 2-year-old content, and just because you paid for the ad space that they're going to put 2-year-old content up there. Remember, they want to deliver to their customer the best. So you've got to be accountable for making sure that your content is up to date, it's going to be relevant and laser targeted to the local market, right? And they're going to do that by giving you first place right there. Now, what I do like about it is that it's a pay-per-click system, okay? Meaning they're not going to charge you $500 a month to be in there, that kind of thing, all right? When you sign up for Google local ads, you tell them how much money you want to invest per month, per day, and it's basically a per-click system. When someone clicks on your ad, that's when the meter goes off. Let's say it charges you $1.50 for a click. Now, is $1.50 per click going to break your bank? Not necessarily. If you get 100 clicks in a day and that costs you $150, well, it might sound a lot of money, but you got 150 possible engagements. How much money can that convert to? You've got to look at it from that perspective. Here's your opportunity to convert those people who clicked you into real money, into real engagement, into closing deals, right? So is it going to be worth the investment? Well, that's up to you. You got to think about what you have to offer, and is it going to provide the person who clicks on you with the engagement that's going to turn that $1.50 investment into something worth keeping. Okay. And as I said, it still requires work on your part. You still have to make sure that your analytics are consistent to measure its value to the business. See, Google Ads is going to give you analytic data. It's going to tell you, how many people clicked on you, where they clicked you from. Okay. It may even give you demographic information about those people. Remember, this is Google we're talking about. They know the people with whom they engage with. All right. And if you keep your content up and keep it relevant, then it's going to be a win-win, because you can be on the top of the Google ads. You see, it's ranked too, right? Everybody's paying, and they're not ranked by how much money they're paying. They're ranked by the same algorithm that you're ranked by. Good quality content, useful visitors to your site, things of that nature. All right. So it still requires work on your part. Is it worth the cost? That depends on you. You have to sit down and do the math. What I would suggest that you do is talk with the people who are at Google, who talk about the Google Ads program. They'll give you the ins and outs. They'll talk about the pros and the cons. They'll give you, truthful, relevant answers to your questions. And in many cases, they'll let you try the system for free. I know, for example, if you invest $500, they'll give you another $500. And again, it's pay per click. That $500 does not move until somebody clicks, and then it becomes $498.50. You see, so it just depends on what you want to do with it. Okay. So just make sure that your website stays SEO friendly. Make sure that your content stays up to date. Make sure that you're engaging frequently and you're putting your content up, and it will help your relevance, and it will definitely help and being on top of the page in Google Ads. And if you're Google Screen, there you are, that much even better. Okay. So like I said, here's that ads capability right there. Here's in the organic, the top agents in San Antonio. Here are the organic search ads down here. Up here are the Google search ads for the screen agents. Okay. Now, how did these three get to be top of that page? All right. Here are the rest of them right here under more real estate agents. A person has to actually click on that to see everybody else. How do they get on top? Is it because they've got 5-star ratings? Not necessarily. She doesn't have a 5-star rating. Okay. What is their secret, ladies and gentlemen? Their secret is the same secret that I just shared with you. Their secret is they've got high quality content. Their website has been optimized, and they are more than likely frequent contributors to their social media, to their blog pages. They're active in their in getting backlinks. They're doing the small, subtle things that the algorithm finds attractive. Because again, at the end of the day, all Google wants to do is provide its customer, the person typing in the search query, the most up-to-date, the most relevant, and laser targeted information available. Okay. All right. So let me stop and ask a question real quick. Hi, Mr. James. I have business page. Do you help to manage the Google page? I would like to discuss with you. Okay, we're going to talk about that too, James. Just give me one moment and we're going to talk about that. All right. How to optimize your content with keywords. Remember the number one factor, ladies and gentlemen, content is king. The king of content are keywords, okay? Are keywords. And I want to show you real quick. I promise it won't take me long. I'm going to do a really quick exercise with you. Let me go over here and open up a tab here. And I'm going to open up Google Calendar. And I'm going to go into the settings here. I've got a lot of tabs open. So I'm going to go into the Google settings here. And one of the great things that I really like about Google Calendar is that you can create sub-calendars. You can create up to 25 sub-calendars. And I taught time management and productivity for years. I used to teach the old Franklin Covey system back in the day. And one of my number one rules, almost like a religious requirement in time management, is that you only have one calendar. Now, of course, this predates having your smartphone, okay? So we're talking about people who had day runners and day planners, and you had your calendar on your desk on the desk pad, and you had notepads here and sticky notes there. No, absolutely not. Thou shalt have only one calendar. Well, the Google Calendar gives you the capability of having one calendar, but you can segment your life. And in this particular case, if you look over here to the right, sorry, to the left, I have a calendar over here called Open House. Now I'm going to click on that calendar. Now, when you create your Open House calendar, it gives you an opportunity to put in a description. Now, what you may notice is that in every bit of content that you can create in the Google universe, whether it's in Google Drive, Google Calendar, YouTube, Google Photos, that you have a place for description. In that place for description is where you add keywords, right? So in this particular case, I put in, for example, Destin, Florida is a home to military families of Eglin Air Force Base and Air Force families from around the world, okay? A major vacation destination and deep sea fishing, only 50 miles from Panama City and Pensacola, okay? I've got that. Now, what did I do? I just cast an extremely wide net to people searching on the internet for real estate agents, or in this particular case, an open house in this area. So I use the word Destin, I use the word Florida, I use the word military, I use the word Eglin, I use AFB and Air Force, you see? I use around the world, I use vacation, I use deep sea fishing, which that part of the country is known for, okay? I mentioned Panama City and Pensacola, Florida. You see, so I cast a wide net. So even if someone was doing a Google search and saying, I'm looking for real estate near Eglin Air Force Base. Why? Because maybe a military family just got relocated there. And so now what's going to happen is their search results going to come back with Eglin Air Force Base, going to come back with Panama City, it's going to come back with Pensacola, it's going to come back with Panama, it's going to come back with Destin. Okay. Now, Destin, Panama City is 50 miles away, but they're still going to be included, and the agents that serve that community have the ability to be seen in there too, simply by putting in those words. Keywords are everything. Key terms, okay? I put in Air Force families from around the world. Google looks at that because it makes sense to a key, to a search. This is what the index does. This is what the artificial intelligence does. Okay. So I want you to notice that I put this information in here. Why? Because if I were to go in here into the calendar, and let's say tomorrow, I'm going to put in an open house event, and then I'll put in the address. I'm not going to go through all of that right now, but if I wanted to go in and create an open house event, add the address, put in the location, right? I'm just going to put in Pensacola, Florida, right? So now it's going to even provide people with Google Maps access. All right. Then I'm going to change the group of the calendar to the open house calendar, give it its own specific color, and then I'm going to change the default visibility to public. Now, at this point, this makes this event publicly displayable on the internet. Now, is somebody going to necessarily see it? Not necessarily, but guess what? The Google bot will, and it's going to index it, and it's going to associate it with me. Why? Because my email address, my Google address is associated with this event. And then down here at the bottom, see, I can add attachments. So I've got a PDF, I've got a flyer, I've got a document of some sort. Okay. I've got an open house flyer. I can attach it to this calendar event. Right here, I can type out description, put in, I've got this great 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath bungalow, perfect for military families. And I can bold, italicize it, underline it. I can put numbers in there. I can put a link. What is the link good for? What if I've got a Google site where I've got a single page website where I got photos and links to this property? I can add that link right there. I can link my social media profile. I could put a link to my website right here. Okay. And then when I save it, this event now is public on the internet. And it's going to help my algorithm. It's going to help my ranking. So whether or not somebody sees it or not is really not the important part. The Google bot will see it, it will index it, and it counts positively toward me. So to get back to what I was talking about earlier, you want to optimize your content with keywords, okay? Now, research your keywords. Make sure that your keywords are relevant to the local area in which you serve. This is going to play a big role in managing your Google business profile too. It's going to ask you, what areas do you serve? So if you're in one particular area of New York City, you want to make sure you put in Bronx. You want to make sure you put in Brooklyn. You want to make sure you put in Manhattan. You want to make sure you put in, Lower Manhattan, East Side, West Side. You want to talk about the surrounding areas. You see, the surrounding areas, Jamaica, Queens, all of those places. You want to add them. They're all keywords. They all count. So you want to research your keywords and make sure that you use them so that you can attract the people who are looking, right? Number 2, create great content for your website. This is how you're going to optimize your website with keywords. Create the great content using the keywords, using the terms that associate. All right. When I talked about Pensacola, Florida, I talked about deep sea fishing. Why? Because they pride themselves on that area. And somebody might not be looking for real estate. They might be looking for a place to go deep sea fishing in Florida. And guess who's going to pop up? Your website that talks about deep sea fishing in Florida. You see? Never know how you're going to get a new client, right? And then making your website mobile friendly. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of people overlook this step. If you cannot get easy navigation on your website when it's in the mobile fashion, then you're putting yourself at a loss. All right. Most people, 85% of people who do Google searches in 2022 maybe even 90% by now, but the statistic was 85% are doing it from their iPhone or their Android. You see? So your your device should be optimized. Your website should be optimized to be mobile friendly, easy to navigate, easy to discover, easy to see, right there on your screen, your mobile screen. So you definitely don't want to pass up on that opportunity. Okay. Now, I've added into this presentation some of the top real estate keywords and key terms that you can use to get your process started. Okay. So this is just basically to help you get the process started. You create your own content, but make sure that you use this. For example, right here at the top, realtor and realtors, plural, are two different keywords. And you can use them in the same sentence and they will not be redundant. You know, if you made a comment about your business and you can say, you know, I am the #1 realtor in an office full of the #1 realtors in my area. I've used the word twice, but it's not the same word because one was plural, one was single, and both of them count, you see. So you just want to make sure that you use that. Now you've got 3 whole pages of possible words. I know I didn't cover them all, but it's a great start for you to into your get into your creation of your content. All right. So another comment says, I don't have a personal website. How do I blog and can I have the right content in my business page post information? Yes. If you don't have a website, it's perfectly okay. You don't need a personal website. You can blog. You can use Google has a great blog tool called blog space, and there's another one called WordPress, and there's a number of them out there that you can use that are free, that you can blog and you can create your own content, your own backlinks and all of that. And that it's absolutely going to work in your favor. Now, what you might want to consider is really heavily focusing your energy on your Google business profile. And that's what we're about to do right now. We're about to go into Google business profiles. So hope I answered your question with that. All right, so let me move forward. Let me go in here and I'm going to close this window. Oh, and before we go do that, I want to show you something. This is one of the benefits of having your Google business profile set up in a specific and powerful way. Okay. When you go to Google Maps, and this is why Google business profiles is so powerful. All right, because it integrates specifically with Google Maps. So when I open up Google Maps, and if you see the search I put in there, I put in real estate agents near me. All right. The first thing that popped up, of course, was the ad generated content. Okay. The second one is an ad generated site. Okay. But when you open it, it's a typical Google business profile. It looks just like the rest of them. The difference is this person has invested in local ad services. Now, the third one is not an ad driven. This person is actually operating, their office is operating out of their home. Okay. And it's showing me that they're 1.4 miles away from my current location. You see, this is what you want because Google knows where you are when you do the search. All right. And so it's going to show me 1.4 miles. The next one's 3.1 miles. This one's 3.0 miles. And these are simple Google business pages. All right. Here's the ability to get directions to where they are. I can call from here. I can chat. I can save and hold it. I can share it with someone else. And here's all the information that I need to know about this business. What time they close today. Here's their website address. And there are their reviews. You see? Even their products based on what their expertise is. Okay? This is what you want, ladies and gentlemen. These are well done Google business profiles. These are on the top of the list in Google Maps. You see? That's what you find. Now, if I were to go into Google and do Google search from my desktop, and I put in real estate agents near me, am I going to get the same results? No, I did not. I got the Google screened ads right across the top. Then I got the ad-driven services. Then I got the Google business pages. This guy, he was on top of the other he was on top of the other one of the Google Maps. But see how it integrates? And then here are the organic. Yelp is actually on top of realtor.com in this case. So apparently Yelp gets a lot of activity for looking at real estate agents in the Atlanta area where I am. Okay. All right. So this is where you want to be. You want to be on top of this list by getting Google Screen. And when you click on it, it'll show me all the rest of those agents. Right. Now, what does it mean to be Google Screen? I'm going to click on the details there. All right. Google Screen professionals have passed license check. Some of them also required to pass background checks and show proof of insurance. It's simply a badge of trust. Are they required to get into the ads program? No. You do not have to be in the ads program to be Google Screen and be part of this list. Okay. If you are part of the ads program, you are more than likely to be at the top of the list. And what does the ad simply mean? Well, these results show select businesses that serve your area. Businesses displayed in the top section pay Google to appear at the top of the list. Results without the Google, well, let me get this out of the way. Let me close this. I have something on my screen covered. Okay, so it says, results without the Google Screen badge are businesses that have been less extensively screened. Okay, so that simply means that they've just been scrutinized a little bit harder, and they got the Google guaranteed or the Google Screen badge, and now they're at the top of the list. So is this a fast track to the top of the list? Yes, and I highly recommend that you do so. Use that link to get Google Screen. It's going to get you to the top of the list. If you want the top of the list, invest a little money in the ads program. See how it works for you. Okay. And then below that, you see these people have not, some of these are not even Google Screen yet, but yet here they are as part of the Google business profiles. Okay. All right. Now let's get into the anatomy of the Google business profiles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a Google business profiles page here. Now, mine is going to look a little different from yours because I manage a lot of realtors and their agencies' Google business profiles page. You can see I've got a few that are already verified, and I've got some that we are in the process of getting them verified. But I want to give you an example. I'm going to use my good friend Rubina Riono. She's a realtor for Keller Williams out in Orange County, California. And she is highly successful at what she does. And her Google business page is on the rise. I can definitely tell you that. And it's because of the work that we've done to create the content on this page. So when you have your page verified and when you go to it, this is what it's going to look like. Here's the menus. And you're going to start by going in and editing your profile. Uh-oh. Let me see here. All right, so here we go. And you just go in and you write about your business. Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, every single word is a keyword. Every single word will be indexed by Google's search tools. Okay. So this is talking about her and her business, and it gives you an opportunity to sell yourself as well as sell your business. Talks about your opening date, content information, and all of this is publicly available. So I'm not giving away any of her details. Okay. Her location on Google Maps. And remember, I talked about casting that wide net. These are all the areas in which she serves. And that is a pretty wide net that extends actually a little bit outside of Orange County, maybe even up to Los Angeles County. Okay. So you want to put in all this information. Then it's going to allow you to use all of these. They built in some keywords for you. You see? Now, these are related to, restaurants and that kind of thing, because, Google business pages are designed for restaurants and other service practitioners as well. Okay. So if I wanted to add more information from the business, I could do that here. Just add the content. Remember, everything is a keyword, everything you type. Now, not only am I able to do that, I've got place for reviews. Reviews are huge, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of people pay close attention to the views that people write, especially if they're writing and they're talking about, how good their experience was with you. Okay. Now, I mean, everybody's not going to give you a 5-star review. Let's hope that they do, but this gives you the opportunity to at least invite them. Now, if you need to get more reviews, now this is something that you can do on your own. I'm going to click up right here where it says get more reviews, and it's going to give you a place to copy this link. All right. Now, what can you do with that link? If you've got clients that you serve that you want to invite them to send you a review, email it to them. Just send them an email and drop it into the link and go ahead and do it. All right. Or if you have anybody on social media, it's a link that'll go on the social media page, and they click on it. It'll give them the ability to put in their stars and whatever. Okay. Or you can text it to them. However you want to do it, you can do that. But this is one way that you can get people to give you reviews, and reviews are really, really valuable in the Google business profiles. Okay. All right. Some people other people's do not use the chat system. This is real handy, especially on the mobile. If a person comes to your page and they say, they want to ask a question and says, what, do you specialize in VA financing or something like that? They can just write you a little quick chat message right through the Google app, right to your Google business page. You'll get a notification on your phone and you can text them right back through the system. All right. All you have to do is turn on messages in your Google business profile. You want to add photos. Okay. You want to add photos and videos to your site. Okay. Listing photos, photos of the office, photos of the interior of the office. Those things lend credibility to your company, to your site, and to your business profile. And you're adding content. Remember, the volume of content counts too. Now, here's another little secret about photos, especially on your website. And you can talk to your website guy about this. You can actually add hashtags and keywords to images. They count. So when the Googlebot indexes the image, it also indexes the keywords that are associated with the image. It all works in your favor. So you really need to do that. Okay. If you need to add other content, it's all here. All you do right here. You have an update. You got an open house or an event coming up. You can come in here and you can add an event, and you can put in the event title, the date, time, end date and time, and even add a button so that So let's say I have an open house coming, and you put in the date and the time. Let's put in the date. I'll just put in today. And oh, that's to add the photo if you want to add the photo to the property. All right. And then you want to add a button for like book it, order online, buy, learn more, sign up, which are links. So if I put in learn more, here's a place where I can add a link that could go to my website. Guess what? Backlink. And also a place where a person can go and get more information. And at that point, just tap post. Now, what it will also give you is the ability to, and in some cases, if you have the capability to add that event and share it to your social media. So you can share it by link. Google's really good about being able to share your content. And you can share that link to your Facebook, to your LinkedIn, to your Twitter. Instagram doesn't support links, so you can't put it in there unless you just kind of go and put it into the bio and put in the link in there. But it's not as easy, so you have to do it manually. But for Facebook and places like that, you can automatically just go ahead and share it. And so you can have that. In fact, in some cases, you may end up with the ability to put your profiles, your social profiles on your Google business page. Okay. Now, I've actually seen some pages, some Google business pages, where their Zillow reviews are showing here too. There is no button that I've discovered that will allow you to add Zillow reviews to your Google business page. I think it's random. I think it has something to do with the algorithm and whether or not the Google bot or whoever's in this Google business profile system finds it beneficial to you. Okay. So all of the tools that you need to keep your page updated is right here in front of you, right on the screen. It's real easy to do. And I will definitely recommend that you do this on a regular basis. Okay. All right. So getting back to the last part of the presentation here. Okay. So a question come up. If someone you don't even know or never met gives you a bad review by putting 1 star, is there any way to contact them to get it removed? Google refused. That's a very good question, Lisa. And trust me, it happens more often than you think. A lot of times, what you may find that there are bots out there that will automatically do this, basically to just sabotage websites, Google business pages. I've got a few of these on my own, and trust me, I've tried to appeal to Google to get them removed myself, and they're going, we don't see anything illegitimate about it, even though it doesn't have a legitimate name. There's no comments to it. It's just a basic 1 star, and that's it. But from the blogs that I've been reading, from some of the groups that I'm in, Google has committed to being a little bit more forward about this and helping us to get some of those things out, because most of the time they're discovering they're being generated by bots. And so it's not something that you're doing, but it's definitely affecting you because it's bringing down your score. All right. How does someone get to your page to write a review? Well, if they're on your Google business page, like we can see here, at down here under reviews, where it says see all Google reviews, people on, well, I'm sorry, I'm in the management side of it. If you were on your page, you would be able to add a review, right? It would be a link. It would be a link to add a review right there. Okay. And you'll be able to see it. But in my case, I'm looking at her page from a management perspective. It's giving me a place that I can get more reviews. but they can add reviews from right here, or again, you can send them the link, just like I showed you before. Copy that, send it to them through whatever media you want, text, email, social media, whatever accepts a link, and then have them fill it out, type in their comment, and they will add to this list. So that will be your way of getting that. Okay. All right. So, all right. So let's do a little Q&A, everybody. Let's pull up some questions. And this time, what you can do is, if you'd like to, I'm going to give you the capability of unmuting yourself if you have a question. So Lisa says, Google had linked to my appointments incorrect. I corrected it as I changed companies. However, on managed business page, it still says pending edits rather than verified as it was before. Okay. Do me a favor, Lisa, drop me an email and remind me about this. And I've got a couple of things I can recommend for you as a solution. We can talk about that, because these are some of the things that I think that Google is working on in getting, becoming more forthright in helping us to get our pages the way that we need them to be. I know a few of my clients are having issues getting their pages reviewed. I mean, as far as verified. And I understand why. It's very important that in order for them to really legitimize your business, they need to be able to establish your business as credible so that they can put you up on the screen, especially if they're going to Google screen you. So I do understand why sometimes it takes a minute. And I've been working with a couple of people getting their pages verified. I've been successful. So that's been good, but it does take a little effort. And sometimes I don't think it really is all that necessary for us to have to work that hard to get the pages verified. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, listen, as we're right at about 97 minutes, and that's about, like I said, I'll go as far as I can as far as the Q&A is concerned, but I really want to just try to get to the wrap up part of the webinar itself. But I want to stop here and just share some information for you. I know that I've given you a lot of information. I mean, a lot of information. And I want you to know that I didn't try to turn on the fire hose, but sometimes it just kind of works out that way. But because of that, I want you to know that if you need some help, I'm here to answer questions for you anytime you drop me an email, especially like what I just told you, Lisa. But if you don't have the time to manage your page, create your page, update your page, I do this for a number of people. I manage your business profile, and we can talk about what that means and what it costs. Now, I will tell you right up front, most SEO consultants will charge you, you know, $65, $75 a month just to manage your SEO activities. I'm not that person, okay? I have a one-time fee. It's not even half that. And basically, we work together to get your page up, integrated with Google Maps, and we're going to work toward getting your page from wherever it is to the top of page one, systematically and in the right way. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to just drop me an email and ask me what it is that I do, you know, how I do what I do, and what it would cost to become a part of that. And it's a really simple process. Okay. Joni says, I need the subject line. I'm going to give that to you again too. I promise. Okay. Now, this is huge. I've been mentioning this. I've been questioned about this a couple of times already. People want to know about the Google Universe series. What I've decided to do coming in January, next month, is I decided to produce the Google Web series as a master class. Now, this opens the door to a lot of possibilities. Number one time will get you lifetime access. It is self-paced. You can go in anytime you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's modular. So each particular area of the topics will be in its own module. It has video tutorials. It has PDFs that you can read or download and read. It's got little brief quizzes at the end of each module. And because this technology updates and changes as often as it does, I go in and I update the content in the modules. I also will be hosting, I know at least once, and maybe I'll even try to squeeze in twice a month. Once a month, I will come in and do at least a 2-hour update and Q&A session. Now, if you're there for it live, that would be wonderful. If you're not there for it live, it will be recorded. It will be on the site so that you can see it anytime you want. And you'll be able to just enjoy the whole idea of learning how to use these tools in a way that no one has ever been able to master before. And you will become highly proficient in using these tools. For example, there's over 2 billion people around the world that have a Gmail account. But the things that I teach you that Gmail can do for you and your business will make you one of the 1%, will make you so proficient in Gmail that you never knew that an email program could do these kinds of things to enhance your communication, to make you a better marketer, and to build your relationships with your potentials and your current and past customers. And it just moves on from there. Things like what I showed you in Google Calendar. Google Drive has its own set of tools. How to use Google Photos and YouTube for your business. All of these things are part of the masterclass, and it will be released in January 2023. And before it's released, I'm going to send you out an email inviting you to come in with a very special, very low introductory price, because it's going to be expensive once we do get it off the ground, but it won't cost you a third of that. Okay, so you're going to get all of this, and of course, like I said, special pricing for the early birds. Now, if you didn't get the handout yet, here's your information. Send me the email to william@gwilliamjames.com, and in the subject line, put in exactly as you see it in red, GBP space SEO space webinar space 2022, and you will get the handout. Now, let me take a look, and I can see from my email that's coming in, it also gives you an idea of how it works. See, all of these that just came in, GBP SEO webinar 2022. If you see the 2 next to my name, that means I received one and I sent one. And if there's anybody who doesn't have that 2 next to them, I will be able to see and tell them why. But it looks like, wow, this is new. I do this all the time, and invariably somebody messes it up. But this time it didn't happen. Everybody got it. So thank you. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. So just send it to that email address and you're going to get the handout. And there's also a link there for a Google review by me too. So you can do the same thing on your site. All right. Use that link for the reviews. Okay. All right. So if you want to keep in contact with me, please do email me at william@gwilliamjames.com, the same email that you sent me earlier. Follow me on my social media platforms, or connect with me on my website at www.gwilliamjames.com, and you'll be able to keep in contact with me and what we're doing, and I'll be able to send out to you updates. And 2023 is going to be exciting because there's a lot of new content that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually developing a new series for people who are interested in Google Workspace. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with Google Workspace, it is for small companies of, you know, from 1 to, I don't know, 500, 1 to 1,000. I guess it really scales very high, but it gives you a business level of access to the Google Cloud applications. It allows you to use your domain name as your Gmail address. For example, this is a Gmail account, william@gwilliamjames.com. That's my domain. But my Gmail address is that because it allows me to use my own company domain as the address. And I get to manage so many things. For example, when I bring in, I'm a pretty much solo operation, but occasionally I bring in people who do social media work for me, or people who do database work for me. When my daughter's not in school, she does work for me. And I give them their own email address at gwilliamjames.com, and I give them access to the administrative tools so I can control what apps they can use, how much of they can use, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm gonna introduce that as a tool to the real estate industry next year. Okay, a couple of other questions in the chat. It is not, no, Lisa, it's not GBP at SEO. Take the AT out and just GBP SEO, the webinar 2022, and you will get it. All right. That will do it. Okay. All right. And put it in and put it in the subject line so that you'll get the information. So with that being said, everybody, I want to thank each and every one of you who came to join me today. Those of you who are watching by video, please feel free to contact me about managing your page, or any questions that you have about what you saw today in the content, to be, you know, just to be better at what you do. This is what I do. This is what I enjoy doing. And I want to do more of it for you and do more of it with you. So listen, this is the beginning of the holiday season. I want you to really enjoy with your families for the holidays. I'm going to wish you a very, very happy beginning of 2023. And as the real estate market continues to lean in our favor, because that's what I'm claiming for each and every one of you, I want you all to have double the business, triple the business that you had in 2022. I'm excited for each and every one of you. All right, so thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next year. Don't forget that the masterclass will be available early next year. Become a part of it, and I will be your tour guide through the whole thing, the whole time. All right. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.